times personally to Bharat. There's no history in the Puranas of him coming to New Zealand, but 9 times to India. So how holy is the dust of Bharat? Very fortunate. And you know, our Bhaktivinoda Thakura, when he was very young, he wrote his first book about Porus. He was one Vedic king who fought with Alexander the Great. And from a very young age, he was already looking at the interaction of bringing the Vedic paradigm to Western society, particularly Greek-influenced Western society, from a very, very young age. He was such a genius, Bhaktivinoda Thakura. You cannot imagine. He wrote over 100 books in many different languages. He had 13 children. He worked as a magistrate in the courts. And then in the evening time, he would go on Namhara programs. He would come to people's house, just like we are doing this evening. And he would come with his young son, Bimal Prasad, who later became the great Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So when he'd come home from work, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would give one Bhagavatam to his son, and his son would carry it on his head, and then they would go to different people's houses in the village and do Namhadas, discuss the pastimes of the Lord. So we're very, very fortunate that on this evening we can think, oh, our great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, is here and he's giving Ashirvad to everyone just by hearing about his glories. He was given the title Sapta Goswami. So we are singing Vande Rupa Sanatana Raga Yugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They were empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to fulfill 4 things. To discover the lost tithras, the lost holy places. To discover the lost deities. To establish the proper conduct for the Vaishnavas, how to interact in this world. And also Grantha Pranayana, to give the proper books on bhakti. So Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, etc. The 6 of them fulfilled this mission in Vrindavan, in Brajamandal. But in Navadvip Dham, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he fulfilled all these 4 things by himself. So that's why he got given the title Sapta Goswami, 7th Goswami. Just like Bhagavat Saptaha, 7. And also Sapta Rishis. Speaking of Sapta Rishis, today is Matariki, or in the Vedic culture, the 7 sisters. So these 7 sisters, they were the wives of the Sapta Rishis. And they had some attraction for Agnidev. So there was a little indiscretion there, and then all of them except one sister. Who was that one sister? Anyone know? Arundhati. So the 7 sisters, they got told chalo. So off you go. And those 7 sisters, they were also the wet nurses of Kartikeya. So in Jyotish, those 7 sisters, they are considered to be responsible for miscarriage and many inauspicious things in your life. But if you worship the 7 sisters as the wet nurses of Kartikeya, then you can get their favor. So that's a little Vedic history of the Madariki significance today. So coming back to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had a lot of responsibility in his life. So he was working as a magistrate. Every day he was going around. Every day he would chant no less than 64 rounds. He would hardly even sleep. He would write so many books. And when he first met his guru, he was 42 years old. And his guru was actually 30 years old. So sometimes we have this conception, oh, I am senior. I am senior because I have been seen for many years. Therefore, I'm senior. But senior means I've seen through the ears. So actually, great personalities, they can come at any age. Like Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, so many histories in the Puranas. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, with great humility, he recognized, even though outwardly this person is in a body that's younger to mine, where is Bhakti? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was such a genius that, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, they wrote in Sanskrit. And Sanskrit's not so accessible for the common person. And even if you can read Sanskrit, to actually decipher the meaning is very, very tricky. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote in vernacular language and made all the very elevated teachings of the Goswamis accessible to the common everyday person through his bhajans. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has taken us through the entire spectrum of our development in bhakti, from Shanargati, Guru Seva, Vaishnav Seva, everything. He has given all the Siddhanta just in his bhajans. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya, Oh Hey Vaishnava Thakur, all these things, all written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Every day we're singing so many songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the temple. Yashamoti Nandana, Jaya Radha Madhava, Vivaha Vishesha Loka Praveshanida Chalita Jiva, all these by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we cannot fathom how great this personality is. So in Navadvip Dham, one night he was on top of one building and his son was with him, and he had a divine vision in Samadhi, and he saw a huge temple in the distance, and in that huge temple there was kirtan going on. And then the next day he thought, he inquired, he walked to that area and what is this place? And he inquired with the locals, and then he got some old maps that the British had actually sent overseas, and he got them back to India, and then he established that place was actually the Yogapith, the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raise your hand if you know of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? A few people? Who's heard of Krishna? Who's heard of Radha? So later on we'll hear how I said earlier that the Supreme Lord Bhagavan has come to Bharat 9 times. But actually, he's come 10 times. But the 10th time was a rahasya, a bit of a secret. That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan himself has come only 500 years ago to Bharat. But this form, it's written actually many times in the Sastra that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come. But this is not so well known. So in this Krishna consciousness movement, the Yuga Dharma, the practice for this age, because as you know, this earth goes through vast cycles of ages. And in these different cycles of ages, different sadhana is most effective for that particular season on earth. But in this current season on earth, the duration of life is very, very short. The mind's very busy, mana chanchala, cannot focus. We don't have a long duration to go to the Himalayas and do tapasya. The mind's too busy to perceive the super soul in the heart. So a very easy practice, because Krishna is Karuna Sindhu, an ocean of compassion. So he's given a very easy practice in this age of Kali. And the Supreme Lord himself came to establish that practice. That is chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So by gathering together and glorifying, chanting the names of God, this is the most powerful practice in this age. You can be singing in English, you can be singing in Japanese, you can be singing in Sanskrit, you can be singing in Bengali. It doesn't matter. Just come together and glorify the Lord. But the most powerful, the Maha practice in this age is to chant the names of Radha and Krishna. That is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And the Supreme Lord himself came, Krishna himself come to establish that. And that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A little more about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we will share a little later. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he got together some villages and he started to excavate the site of the Yogapith, of the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he found one deity there. Does anyone know who that deity was? Adokshaj Vishnu. And that was the deity, the family deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that his father, Jagannath Mishra, used to worship. And they didn't just find some random Vishnu deity that, from the marketplace that someone's... The iconography of where the conch and lotus and everything, it's a Adokshaj Vishnu. So this is the same deity that Jagannath Mishra, who was non-different to Nanda Baba from Vrindavan, who he was worshipping at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's established there in the Yogapith. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he discovered so many holy places all throughout Navadvip Dham. So many Indian people, they know about Vrindavan and the glories of Vrindavan. But Navadvip Dham, Mayapura, Navadvip, the 9 islands, just a few hours outside of Calcutta, this is non-different from Vrindavan. Non-different. Later I'll read some prayers from Bhaktivinoda Thakur about this. So, author and explorer, what's his name? Barry Lopez. He has one nice little saying that, if you've gone down a road and then you realize, I've taken the wrong way, but you've gone quite some distance, and then you realize, gone the wrong way. What to do? Sometimes GPS sends you on the wrong way. So you can do one of two things. You can stop, you can turn around and go all the way back, or you can pull over and you can ask a local, hey, is there some little side track that I can get back onto my route? So now in modern times, millions and millions, I don't know about millions, but so many people are coming to India. The yoga industry is worth billions of dollars. So many Westerners, they're all flocking to India to get spiritual knowledge because many people are beginning to realize, we've gone down the wrong road. The material dream is not actually what it made out to be. But Bharat has some treasure. And although the British Raj already plundered all the gold, they have another treasure that is still there. And that is the Vedic treasure. Cannot be taken. So many people are coming. But ironically, even though the British Raj has left, there can still be this kind of hangover that actually, the British way is quite nice. So the Westerners are coming and the Indians are going. Like this, yeah? And don't get me wrong, life's hard in India. It's really hard.
We are getting fantasized by the Western
Yeah.
This is good. Just be with you, with your family, leave your parents.
Yeah.
True.
And so many Indian people, they're giving up the inheritance of their forefathers. It is said in the Upanishads, Amritasya putraha. Oh, children of nectar, you have this priceless treasure. This is your inheritance. So actually it's said in the Sastra, you are not a father, you are not a mother, you are not a brother, you are not a husband, unless you can liberate your dependents from the cycle of samsara. So actually only pure devotee can do that. But if you bring your family into the association of very high-class devotees, and where you can hear Harikatha, where you can come together, chant the names of the Lord, this is really fulfilling your duties as a parent. Otherwise, you're just taking them down the road of Kali Yuga into oblivion. Arjuna saw in Bhagavad Gita that all the soldiers in the battlefield were like moths to a flame, getting devoured by the jaws of time, burnt in their karmas. But actually, this treasure of Bharat, this can liberate one from the cycle of samsara and give them even higher than liberation, could give them praying, bhakti. So I want to read one nice work from Bhaktivinoda Thakura. The poetry in this is absolutely amazing. It's in Bengali, I believe. So all of the instructions of our Goswamis, their literatures are vast. Even just Jiva Goswami by himself, he's composed over 400,000 verses in Sanskrit. So much. That's even more than the Ramayana. It's so much. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such a broad-hearted and broad-minded genius. He's condensed this down into some simple bhajans. So, a little taste of that instruction. Ahoy priya banu jana suna mora nivadana yari chahananda apara jare sukha nahi mana chirananda tattva jana aswara nanakara sara. O dear friends, kindly hear my plea. If you desire everlasting bliss, do not accept happiness in material things. Try to understand that which is of a transcendental nature. Relish those things. You know, this is a bit random, but if you have something hanging from your nose, right? A little bit hanging from your nose. No one says anything. You go into town, you do your shopping, and then you meet one friend at the supermarket, and they go, "Hey, you need to wipe your nose." And so, in that moment, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you're thankful to that person, right? Yeah? But ordinary person, they won't have the courage to tell you nothing. So they just go around looking like an idiot, doing whatever all day long. So, Maharaj, sadhus, the Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord, they're traveling here and there, giving the teachings of the saints, giving the teachings of Krishna. But sometimes these things are uncomfortable for us to hear, because we want to make one very nice bed in the sand of samsara, be very comfortable for a short time. But this happiness is falling through our fingers, and in a moment it will change. But the sadhus, they are traveling here and there, and sometimes with their sharp words they are cutting. But this is for our benefit. This is actually true friend. Nityananda, they are your true friends, because they are trying to steer you towards your Jaiva Dharma, your life purpose. So all this is included in the words of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is your true friend, because the relationships in this world, they are transactional. Mother, father, brother. Mother's love is about as pure as we can get in this world, but still, mother might be thinking, "Oh, when you're older, I want you to look after me." So still there's some transactional there. Nothing wrong with that. This is the nature of this world. But this is not praying. This is not pure love. But the devotees of the Lord, the pure devotees, they have pure love. So whatever instruction they give to us, even if it seems a little harsh, it's because they truly want our welfare. Madhyamamsa kadya sukha sakali jana dukha sukha brahma macha sabahoya indriya vilasayata sakale sukhera mata kintu nitya sukha nahitaya. The delight found in drinking alcohol and eating meat is totally miserable. It is all merely an illusion of happiness. Pleasure gained from the senses may seem to be happiness, but eternal bliss cannot be found in them. Probably don't need to go too much in about convince you not to eat a hamburger here in this assembly, but you know, we want to taste nice things, we want to get lost in the senses, and the Western dream, oh, you can enjoy so much, so we want to follow that. But the Western people, they're not happy. The millionaires, the movie stars, they overdose in drugs and they kill themselves. because they want to escape their miserable life. There's no lasting happiness to be found here. Of course, you can enjoy with your family, you can go to the beach. This is a very beautiful experience, but this is not the experience what the soul is longing for. The soul is longing for relationship with Bhagavan, with God. And the soul wants eternal happiness, but we can't find eternal happiness here. Everything here is temporary. But your soul is eternal, and God is eternal. And that's where the lasting happiness will be found. Asha pashe barahaye anatera sangalahaye kena brahmicheda nirantara asarana eshishisha migratrisha avishesha phala matra dukera sagara. Please forgive my pronunciation. Why do you continuously roam around, bound by hopes on all sides, associating with your anattas? Anattas means unwanted things in the heart. Lust, anger, greed, all these sorts of things. There is no end in our desires. The more you enjoy, the more you want. It's like pouring ghee on the fire, and it just gets bigger and bigger. The more money you have, the more money you want. The nice car you have, you want a nicer car next time. You build a new house, now you want another story on the house. There's no end in it. No end in this. There is no end in our desires. See, even Bhaktivinoda Thakura is saying, just like a deer who always remains thirsty, the only result will be an ocean of misery. Deha rupa viksha hate jiva pakshi apagate indra yatha ki karebe hoya chandra sura vayu jala parakashiya suya bala amatite niribe tumaya. Even when we inhabit the form of a tree and the bird-like jiva departs from it, what will be the use of any sense gratification? At that time the moon, sun, wind and water may show their strength, but they will not be able to invite you back, for you have already departed and left that form of a tree. Priyajana kolahala hahutasa chintanala jagadate pariki tumare mahanindra jale pari yabituma gadad gadi vamshakiti vistari vikare. At the time of death, your dear ones will cry piteously, and your mind will burn with great lamentation and angst. With all these things be able to awaken you. Falling under the great spell, you'll roam around, and finally you'll be transformed into ashes, worms, and stool. This is what will happen with the body. We're spending all our time comforting the body, making this very nice, but this is not who we are. We are Atma. All our forefathers, this is their teaching. We are Atma. Ye dehira sune tume brahma yacha kate bhumi kukura sangala tahikaya yantara kara kele kala takara dehe nahi chare kabuhaya. You have affection for this body, which has forced you to wander through so many lands, but you will eventually be eaten by dogs and jackals. No matter how much you take care of it, the terrible claws of time will never let go of this body. Alas. Ativa taji brahma paramate karasmara bhaje krishna chitta vinodana bhaktarvantanara manorupi suvivara beretara chala vrindavana. Therefore give up your wandering and strive to attain the highest goal. Worship Krishna and absorb yourself in thoughts of him. Piercing through the physical plane and the vast expanse of the mental sphere, let us go to Vrindavan. Gopavesha abrakanti taruna vishara shanti kalpadruma ashrita sundara aparupa vamsi swave sava jiva mate kare yatha shama hridaya ishwara. Dressed as a cowherd, the color of a rain cloud, youthful and effulgent and peaceful, he takes shelter under a beautiful desire tree. The sound of his extraordinary flute maddens all jivas. In this way, Shama is the Lord of the heart. Jiva vrinda gabiyana ashura aparatara tabutaya madure pradana pulaka Kadambala Tale Akashana Vamsi Bale Sarakera Harimana Prana. The cow-like jivas belong to him. Though he has unlimited opulence, still his sweetness, Madhurya, is most prominent. Sitting under the Kadamba tree, the power of his flute is blissfully attracting. He captures the minds and hearts of the sadhakas. So, God has so many qualities. He has manifest unlimited material worlds, unlimited material universes, but his most prominent quality is his beauty. And of all the forms of the Lord, Krishna is the most beautiful. That's why he has the name Krishna. In all of existence, he is the most attractive. No one's more beautiful than Krishna. Not possible. Krishna is so beautiful. If you wish to be close to Krishna, always take the association of sadhus and shun bad company. Krishna is not very far away. Krishna will become your very life if you drink the nectar of divine love. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Patra Pusham Phalam, just offer him a tulsi leaf, offer him a flower, offer him some water, but do it with love. And if you have that love, Krishna will become bound in your heart. The rishis are meditating for thousands of years, the yogis in the Himalayas, just to get one glimpse of the tips of the toes of Lord Narayan. But Krishna, who's even higher than Lord Narayan, you can offer him a flower and he'll become bound in your heart. Krishna is so merciful. All types of yagna, homa, fruitative activities, none of these will get you Krishna. Prem alone is your real wealth. Always chant Hari Hari. Fix your mind and surrender your body to Krishna. Do not let your mind dwell on thoughts or other thoughts or desires. In this way, perform sadhana. With intense internal hankering, allow Krishna Tattva to penetrate your mind. Then enter into the deep pastures of your heart. Gaze there at that form of divine knowledge, who spritedly manifests in Vrindavan as that divine youth. The wealth of assets of Brahma, the 18 mystical perfections, enjoyment and liberation, etc., become insignificant as a piece of straw due to the influence of praying. All these things will fear you and run away. You are a jiva. Jiva means living entity. You are soul, eternal soul. You're not male, you're not female. This is just your temporary body, your temporary covering. You are eternal soul, endowed with transcendental knowledge, and you are not meant for such fleeting happiness. The bliss of Krishna is your dearmost treasure. The tongue, the eyes, the ears, and the nose are all trying to satiate your thirst, but they cannot, even for a moment. All the temporary things of this world that the senses come in contact with, 5 minutes later, they want something else again. You eat the nice chocolate bar, 5 minutes later, oh, you want something else, yeah? But Krishna, oh, he can satiate all our desires. But Krishna is so beautiful, if you just get one taste, you want more and more and more. The shelter of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya is my very life, Kedar says. Oh brothers, please listen. He is the helmsman who will help us cross over this world of birth and death. There is no one else other than him. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakura has written so many wonderful bhajans, and in his bhajan, Boro Sukha Kobo Gai, in Navadvip Dham, Nityananda, who's none other than Balaram from Krishna Leela, he's opened one marketplace. And that marketplace is the marketplace of the holy name, the chanting of the names of God. And he's selling he's opened this marketplace at a very cheap rate. He's selling wholesale. Very, very good deal. And so you can get this priceless treasure for a very cheap price. And that price is your faith. Just have faith that coming together and singing these names of the Lord, it has power. Nija Sarva Shaktis. All the powers of the Lord are invested in these names. We cannot realize it straight away. But Chaito Dapana Majnam, go on chanting together. Come together regularly and chant. And your heart will be cleansed. And all the realization will come. And so our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, he's saying here in his bhajan, "Oh brother, if you want the holy name, then come with me. We must go at great pace to meet the soul Nityananda." Taking only one's faith, he gives the highest ecstasy. If he sees only once tears coming in the eyes when we're chanting the name Gora, who is the name for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then he gives everything to that person. Just like Sudama Brahman, he asked nothing from Krishna. He just went to see his friend, and he got everything materially. He doesn't need anything materially, because whatever he has is more priceless than anything material. That is Krishna brain. Krishna brain. So Nityananda, he gives the pure teachings of Krishna to everyone, not caring of their birth, not caring of their wealth, their knowledge, their strength, nothing. He will just freely give what hasn't been given in this day of Lord Brahma before. The highest mellows of praying. So, O Gora Nitai, you two brothers are the only true friend of the fallen souls. I am the lowest of the low, most fallen and wicked-minded, so please kindly bestow your ocean of mercy upon me. When I no longer, these are all prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when I no longer distinguish between the residents of Navadvip and Vrindavan, I will become a real Brajbasi, and the Chinmoy form of the Dham will bestow darshan upon me, and I will become a maidservant of Sri Radhaji. So, in his pranam mantra of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Nama Om Bhaktivinodaya Satchidananda Namane Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate. Gaura Shakti. So, in Vrindavan, Radharani's 8 main chittavrittis have become the Astasakis. So that means her 8 main mental tendencies of her mind have come outside of her body, and they have taken on the form of 8 principal goddesses, the 8 Sakis. So just imagine if your chittavrittis, if your thoughts in your mind manifest outside, what would this room be filled with? Probably not so beautiful. I don't know, it could be. But Radharani, she is the embodiment of love. She is the embodiment of the pleasure potency. And one ray of that Shakti, that is Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So his eternal position is a maidservant of the goddess Radharani. So his Siddha name is Kamala Manjari. He's one servant of Srimati Radhika. And just here, the pure devotion that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has. So we've been talking about Krishna and how beautiful is Krishna. No one can surpass the beauty of Krishna. Is it true?
Yeah.
Yes, it's true.
Absolutely.
Radharani,
Oh.
she is far more beautiful than Krishna. Krishna is only beautiful if Radharani is next to him. No Radharani, Krishna cello. Our acharyas have come in to give Vrindavan Bhav. Not Vaikuntha, not Mathura, All of our acharyas are coming to give Krishna in Vrindavan. And who's the empress of Vrindavan? Radharani, Vrindavaneshwari. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, if the desire to serve Srimati Radhika does not appear in my heart, then my worship of Krishna is simply useless. Waste of time. Very profound. Just let that go into your mind for a moment. So we're singing Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who's Nitya Siddha, he's eternally perfect. He is not born. Just like the sun rises, these great saints, they appear in this world, and then we're celebrating early, but on Wednesday, it's the disappearance day. So like the sun sets, they become uppercut, unmanifest from our material vision, because they are eternal beings. They are eternally perfect, Nitya Siddha. We are Badajiv. We are eternally, due to our hostility towards Bhagavan, we've been turned away from Krishna. But we have the chance to turn our vision towards Krishna. But there are souls in the spiritual world who are eternally been in loving relation with Krishna. And from time to time they come into this world as our Guru Parampara. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he is one of those Nitya Siddhas, an eternal servant of Srimati Radhika. Just as the sun cannot be perceived without sunlight, in the same way I do not recognize Madhava, that is Krishna, separate from Radha. Those who worship Madhav alone are ignorant. They simply neglect Srimati Radhika out of their mundane pride. Don't ever associate with such persons if you desire loving playfulness of Braj Rasa to appear in your heart. If you identify as being Srimati Radhika's exclusive maidservant, then very quickly you'll meet Gokul Kana. Gurudev says, sometimes here in Western countries you get a cereal box, and for the kids there's a little toy inside the cereal box. Not sure if they still have that. In my day they used to, yeah. And so if you have bhakti to Radha, then you get Krishna like one toy in a cereal box very easily. But if you're just trying to endeavor so much, Krishna, Krishna bhakti, very difficult. But if you have love for Radharani, it's just like you go out into the park and you're meeting one person walking their dog. And you go up to the dog, kuchiku, little dog. And then that person, I like this person so much, they're friends with my dog, We're not comparing Radha to a dog or anything, but Param Gurudev gives this example, just make friends with Radharani, serve her, very easily you'll get Krishna. Easy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Brahma, Shiva, Narad, the Shruti, the Rishis, Narayani honor and worship the dust of Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. In Balvan, Vrindavan, Lakshmi Devi is there today doing tapasya, trying to get entrance into Vrindavan. Our Amnyaya, the revealed scriptures, declare that Uma, Rama, Satya, Sachi, Chandravali and Rukmini are all Radharani's expansions. Bhaktivinoda is begging at the lotus feet whose wealth is service to Srimati Radhika. Even our Shrivji, Mahadev, he is praying, Karakarashya Sihamam Kripakatakshabrashanam. When will I become a merciful recipient of the sidelong glance of Srimati Radhika? Mahadev is praying for the glance of Radharani. So how beautiful, how elevated is the position of Radharani. And one eternal maidservant of hers has come to this world, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he is showing us how to follow in his anugatya to come into her Nitya Seva. This is the position of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Very, very elevated. So I'll just come to an end soon. I'll just share a couple more things. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has revealed his siddha, his eternal identity, all in his bhajans. So he has shown us how, with like Atmani, Vedanam and Shranagati prayers, how as conditioned souls, when we're got a mind attracted to so many material things, how we can surrender. Like Param Gurudev gives the example. We should always try to sing these prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakura. But these are actually quite elevated. Even what we started with today, these bhajans are actually really high level things, you know. But you should be like one man working in a candle factory. So there was one man, he got a job in a candle factory, and wax is coming on his hands. So he comes home and he's trying to clean the hands, taking the wax off, but still a little bit is there. And every day he's coming home trying to get the wax off, but still it's actually building. And after some months, his entire hand has a coating of wax. So in the same way, regularly chant these bhajans of Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and then gradually that bhav will come into your consciousness. Very wonderful. So here he is revealing his eternal identity. I'm a resident of Swananda Sukanda Kunj and a maidservant at the lotus feet of Sri Radha Madhava. At the union of their divine couple I rejoice, and in their separation I die in anguish. I never look at the place where Chandravali and her friends stay. Whenever I see such a place, it reminds me of Chandravali Gopi's friend Shaibya. One day Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was on a train and he was with his son Bimal Prasad, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he fell asleep. And then when he was sleeping, during that time, the Devatas in Swargaloka with Indra and the other Devatas, they were having Bhagavad Gita class. Even the Devatas in heaven study Bhagavad Gita. So always read Bhagavad Gita. Very profound. So they were looking Bhagavad Gita, they come through the chapters, and then they got up to the verse Api Set Shudro. And they couldn't figure out what does it mean. Because the translation is, if there's a sadhu, and then that sadhu does something by the standards of society inappropriate, he has some fall down, but still he's devoted to Krishna, then that person is still a sadhu. And some people, they find this hard to believe, or they can't figure it out. And so the Devatas, they were up there having Bhagavad Gita class, and they were scratching their heads. Oh, what does it mean? Oh. Then they thought, there's one pure devotee on earth. We'll ask him. So in his swapana, in his dream state, they brought him to Swargaloka. And they said, oh, Mahatmaji, oh, Sadhu, you're a great Vaishnava, please. Because Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he used to say, you're reading, but you're reading in the dark. Because when we have the 4 defects, even if we're reading the words of the sadhu, we don't get the pure meaning. It's always distorted by our mind in some way. We have these biases. So we have to switch the light on. That is hearing from sadhu. Then we can actually understand the scripture. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said, if some sadhu has some mishap, but they're still devoted to Krishna, if you still see that person as a sadhu, then very quickly you will become perfect. So it's not about the person who's had the fall down, it's about your vision. Because in this age we're so quick to be critical. Oh, this person that we like to engage in gossip, and we like to text on the phone, and did you hear, and just and the soap opera, and soap operas are becoming more and more popular in India, following the West, yeah? So the mind likes to engage in all these things, but don't be involved in other people's business. This is between them and Krishna, or let sadhu, let guru sort it out. We're not in the position of guru. Just try to see people's good qualities. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said this to the Devatas, and also Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he has given the same explanation to this verse. And then all the Devatas were like, sadhu, 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 and they showered flowers from the sky, and then they took him back down onto the train. And then he woke up and he relayed what had happened to his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So just one other pastime I'll end with. One day, Krishna in Vrindavan, he was in the Kunj, the forest grove of Chandravali. And he was late for his meeting with Radhika. And then he heard one voice call out, "Oh, Kanaya, a demon is attacking Braja. Come quickly at once. They're stealing all the cows." And then he recognized that voice. Who was that voice? Kamala Manjari, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because he's a maidservant of Radharani. He doesn't want Krishna enjoying with Chandravali. You shall come to Radharani very soon. So the cows are in danger. Come, Krishna, come quickly. So then Krishna, he recognized, that's Kamala Manjari. Oh, sorry, Chandravali, I have to leave at once. So then he left the Kunj and very quickly he went. But, in Vrindavan, Radharani, she has contrary mood sometimes. Sometimes she is averse to Krishna, in the mood of play, because it gives pleasure to Krishna. So, Krishna, he has 4 different colored cows, 4 groups of different colored cows: black, white, red, and yellow. And just like we have Tulsi Mala, Krishna also has a Mala. But on his Mala, he's not chanting Hare Krishna, he's chanting the names of his cows and counting the names to make sure they're all there when he takes the cows grazing in the forest on the bank of Jamuna, eating the lush grass. So Krishna is counting the names of his cows, 4 different color groups. And then on this day, he was taking the cows to Nandagan, and he was milking the cows there. And actually Tir Kadamba. And Radharani, she was on her way to Nandagan, because every day Radharani, on the order of Mother Yashoda, cooks for Krishna, and so with the blessings of Dhruvasa Muni. So Radharani, she was on her way to cook, and Krishna was pretending like he was minding his own business, milking the cows. And then as Radharani was coming past, Krishna pulled the teat of the cows and was squirting Radharani. And then Radharani, she went in man, very sulky mood towards Krishna. But Krishna was relishing the sulky look of Radharani on her face, with some milk droplets all over her. So in this way, Krishna, he is the beloved of Radharani. And we always want to see Krishna as the beloved of Srimati Radhika. This is the mood of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Radha's happiness is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's happiness. And Radha's sorrow is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's sorrow. Actually, there's another bhajan. There's so many wonderful bhajans of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But he is saying in another bhajan, I never desire to meet with Krishna alone. I only desire my Swamini, my Srimati Radhika, to meet with Krishna. And my Nitya Seva is to make that happen. So how fortunate are we to be in this Anugacha, following in the footsteps of our Guru Varga, our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara, and to be honoring Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Very, very wonderful. And I'll just end with this one little thing, that every year, a couple of days before Kartik Mass starts, we honor one saint in Vrindavan. His name is Fakir Mohan Prabhu. If you read his life history, it is like one Jivan Charitra of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was from a young boy, he was friends with Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He was a PhD scholar in all Gaudiya Sastra. And he discovered the lost deities of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Sri Radha Madhav. So every year during Kartik, those deities, Radha Madhav, they come from Orissa, and they come to the celebration of Fakir Mohan, and then after that they stay in the Krishna Balaram Mandir ISKCON, and then for the month of Kartik after, they go back to Orissa. So our Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he has composed this bhajan, Sri Radha Madhava Kunja Behari, in honor of his family deities, Sri Radha Madhav. And if you go to Vrindavan, you can have darshan of those deities. Actually, we don't have the mood, we are having darshan, because all the transcendental personalities, they are adokshij. They are beyond our material senses. So rather, we go in front of Thakurji in the temple, we go in front of the deities, we go in front of the Maharaj, and we don't have the conception, we don't want to have the conception, oh, I am seeing them. We want to have the conception, they are seeing me. Please, Kadakarasi Sihamam Kripakataksha Brajanam, give me just a little mercy, your merciful sidelong glance. These are the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai. Srila Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara ki Jai. Sri Gauranitai ki Jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. Go Premanande.